Meet Sal Fischera, the mind and body expert who motivates, invigorates, and educates. Sal gets his audiences back in the game of life with humor, wisdom, and valuable insight. Sal speaks to top corporations and is featured on such TV programs as NBC's Dateline and CNN's Health Report.
We all have six-pack abs, but most people don't see them. Here we go, just stay active. Well, first you have to learn how to do it.
I'm only an exercise physiologist and a fitness trainer. I make my clients fit. The title of this session is The Mind-Body Connection. I want to talk about the reverse, the body-mind connection. Because while it's true that mind does have control over matter, we are forgetting something very, very significant in this culture. Because there is a thing called body over mind. Has anyone ever had a stomach virus or food poisoning? Anyone where they were really totally white? Okay, fine. Now, in that condition, can any of you have negotiated a mortgage, a lease? Did any one of you go to work under that condition? If you are in that state, how can you think? How can you perform? How can you live? Now that's an extreme case, of course. Now perhaps on a more subtle level, though, the same thing happens when we go for that cheeseburger, when we go for those French fries. What goes in is what comes out in the form of physical strength and mental capabilities. We were designed to move. That's the human body. And it's remarkable the changes that occur as you move. I want everyone just to stand up for just 1 second and just do this inhaling, reaching up to the ceiling, and bring it back down. Usually I bring it out, but you're too close to each other. And again, take a deep breath in and exhale. And right in your place, just walk for about 10 seconds. Anyone feeling worse? No? Okay. You've been reawakened. Exercise is that. It's a reawakening. When I say no time, or when I hear no time, I always ask people, do you watch TV? And they'll say yes. If you plan, then you can strip it off and you'll be fit. Now, it takes a little bit of planning. But look at this. Did that take much time? And as far as money, how much do you think this costs? A little bit of rope jumping. Now, how much is this costing? $5? $7? Just to do a little bit of exercising, get the blood pumping? Just start running. Too much exercise still? How about a bit of power walk? A little bit of power walk, that's all it takes. Have one of these to play with if you're bored with walking. This is a medicine ball, not a beach ball. You could do abs, like this. You could do it the other way. Here's another ab exercise. Does anyone not have time? Was that for the strip or for the exercise? It takes 20 minutes to reach a fat-burning zone. Now, it's not like a switch just pops in, like, oh, 20 minutes, now I'm burning fat. It's not like that. And people think, oh, well, you know, at what time? I only did 18 minutes. What am I going to do? I didn't reach the fat-burning zone. It's not like that. What happens is when you first start working out, you're burning carbohydrates, which is why we need carbs. You're burning carbs, you're burning a little bit of fat. And as you reach that 20-minute, 15 or 20-minute marker, depending on the intensity, you then reach a point where you're burning more fat than carbs. You're depleting your carbs. We don't have a lot of carbohydrates. Top CEOs, look at the condition they're in. A lot of them are lean. A lot of them work out. A lot of them play racquetball. And it's not that if you play racquetball, you're going to become a CEO. But the ones who become CEOs tend to be fitter. So it does tie in with your economic well-being after all. When people say no money, well then think of it as an investment in you. Because when you take care of you first, then you could help those around you.
Who would like to stop aging? Anybody? I'm glad I'm not the only one. Secondly, is there anyone here who would like to live as though they were 20 years younger? Anybody? Yes? Okay, good. Now, if you're 35 or younger, you shouldn't raise your hand on that one. Now, I ask these questions because it is possible to stop and even reverse aging. It sounds like magic, doesn't it? But it's not. Let me give you some examples by starting with two definitions of aging. First, there is the type of aging we all know about, chronological aging. Now, chronological aging means that you start at one point and you progress through time. Logically, we cannot stop that. The second type of aging is the one that we need to start to become aware of. It's called biological aging. It's dependent upon how we live our lives. Ever hear of Jack LaLanne? Yes? Okay. Jack LaLanne is 92 years old, and he exercises 2 hours per day. 1 hour of lifting weights, 1 hour swimming, or doing other cardio forms of exercise. People would say, well, that's an exception. He's a freak. That's an easy excuse. But there are others like him. There's a Japanese man who just recently passed away, named Keizo Miura. Keizo Miura just passed away at 102 years old. Relatively young compared to some of his counterparts. But what is remarkable is not so much the number, but the way he lived his life to the very end. Now, at the young age of 77, he was the oldest man to climb Mount Kilimanjaro.
Wow.
On his 100th birthday, in celebration of such a wonderful event, he went skiing in Colorado with 3 other generations of his family. What a quality of life. To live not only with your grandchildren and great-grandchildren, but to be active with them. And it's not just the longevity anyway. It's the quality of life that we must look at. So instead of looking at the average American who shuffles along at 70 years old and think, he's a great guy, look at him, still 70 and moving, still breathing? Let's consider the examples that really matter and start to change our own concepts. There are no excuses, and I'm in the business of taking away excuses. So I encourage everyone, watch what you eat, be serious, stay away from saturated fats, simple sugars, and be active and live life to its fullest.
Let Sal Fischera entertain your group. He'll motivate, invigorate, and educate the mind and body. You'll learn to live longer, work better, and have more fun.